What's up, flat earthers, truthers, YouTubers, trolls, assholes? So, my boy was having a look on the NASA's Instagram channel. Oh, man. Man, didn't I have it an easy time over there? I guess every picture they put up has lots and lots of flat earth responses. So, good job, you guys. Good job. I don't have Instagram. I barely have Facebook because it's fucking, you know what it is. I have it just so I can contact people from out of state. The free phone calls that they record. But yeah, so they're coming up with some retroactive damage control answers, as Eric Dubé likes to put it. Now all the astronauts that went to the moon are having heart problems, from the Van Allen radiation belts. And it's like, coincidentally, they're just now finding that out right along with, all the pictures and ridicule that NASA's getting and that the astronauts are getting, funny. But I want to talk about the sky, the firmament, the possibility of, a few things, looking at one of my favorite channels now, the, however you say it, the Planete Veritas, or that channel, Robert Bassano. They're talking about a lot of cool things. One being there's that observatory that actually shoots lasers up into the sky to create artificial stars they use as a reference point for their telescopes, right? And what they say is that these lasers activate sodium ions or sodium atoms 90 kilometers up in the sky, right? Creates these artificial stars. Now, even the high altitude balloon footage that we look at doesn't show stars up there. It's strange. It's almost like maybe stars can't be seen except for from the ground, looking straight up through the, but there's sodium up there? Is there salt water up there? There's this video, and of course I had it and I lost it, but it's basically there's a submarine that goes down below into the ocean, and they see this, like they actually see water lapping onto a shore down in the ocean. It's a ring of mussels, right? And somehow the water is so saline and so thick that the submarine could not penetrate through. It would bounce off. And when it bounced off, it actually created a wave that were breaking on the rocks down into the ocean in this lake. Water of different viscosity or whatever, but still, that's a separate realm from the ocean itself. What if we are that same exact thing? They say air and oxygen are basically almost the same thing. One has a little bit more of the other elements, so it's not so viscous we can breathe it. But they say basically air, it almost is water. It's made up of the same stuff. So what if it's the same deal? As above, so below. I don't know what else to, so the moon. Okay, when the sun and the moon are at 6 and 12 on a clock, right? You get a full moon, right? So in between those, you get the phases of the moon. Now, the moon's light, I don't believe, is reflected sunlight, but the sun's light does affect the moon. It does affect what we see. Because, it has to. It absolutely has to, because when the moon and sun are closer together, we start getting phases. We get the crescent moon, right? when they're exactly, far enough away from each other, we get a full moon. Now, somebody made an excellent point. He said, what if the moon is like a battery that's actually being recharged? See, because we have these phases, right? But when the sun and moon overtake each other, I guess the moon disappears for a while. You don't actually see that happen, which is strange. Why is that? Is that what they mean? Is that what a new moon actually is? Is it, it's strange to me. But, okay, so if they're flat disks that revolve above and around us, what if the sun's disk, bear with me for a minute, what if the sun's disk only shoots down, doesn't shoot up, it doesn't apply light up, right? It pushes light down, right? If the moon was lower than the sun, right? That actually, this is making sense to me as I'm saying it. Sun only shines down, does not shoot up. Okay, just for theory's sake. If the moon was slightly lower than the sun, right, and it was a disk, I believe that's how we could get a shadow on the moon. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the sun's here and the moon's here and they're at 6 and 12, that bottom face of that moon's going to have optimal coverage for light to come from the sun that's far enough away. But what if, as they start getting closer together, because the sun's light shines down and they're so parallel with each other, who knows, maybe the moon's really thick, maybe they're both really thick or something, and because of the height differential, it causes a shadow on the underside of the moon, and that's how we get the phases. It's a shadow, and the closer it gets, because you'll see, the closer the moon gets to the sun, the smaller that crescent gets. What if really, like, if it's that much lower and they're this close to each other, right? That light is you might only see that light on a small portion of this, okay? The other part of the disc might not catch that light just because of where they are, but as they get further away, you understand what I'm saying. I don't have to keep making points, but that's where I'm at with it. I don't know, like, I'm trying to think about these things, just like, I mean, I also believe there's a potential of a third body up there. So between the height differentials, you get the phases, but there is a third body up there that we can't see, I believe. And that's how we get some of the eclipses. Some, I believe, happen when the sun and moon overtake each other. And I believe there's another body in there overtaking, also. Every now and then we see it, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I just wanted to share, that, freaking NASA, huh? Like, that's just funny to me. Now they're having heart problems, after people have been asking thousands of questions about the Van Allen radiation belts. That's what they're gonna say. Okay, great. Well, we know, even somebody that is not that learned about it like myself, okay, knows that if it is what they say it is, first of all, you're not bringing cameras, especially the cameras that they had back then, through those fucking radiation belts and expecting to come home with any kind of footage. Second of all, don't expect to come home at all, because you'd be a fried piece of microwaved astronaut. That's what you'd be. Hey guys, I got a second channel. It's just like it's almost like a parody of myself. Flat Earth Expedition. Just take a look at that. The Flat Earth Expedition. My other channel. But anyways, that's where I'm at with it. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents into I mentioned on one of my other videos too, like, I've been reading a lot about Tesla. You know, Tesla says everything's about frequency. He says that frequency changes from the ground up. Now, if you watch those videos where they put salt on the table and they run something that has a frequency like, something you like with hertz frequency, sound waves, right? The salt will actually start to perform and make these symmetrical squared off like patterns that are symmetrical even on both sides and create these designs. And as you turn up the frequency, the salt will dance and move and change, and the higher the frequency, the more intricate these patterns are that perform. It's absolutely amazing to me, just absolutely amazing. Then I was thinking about what Tesla said about the frequency, the RF, the radio frequency, and how it gets more and more tight as it gets higher in elevation. And when you look at snowflakes, how each one's different, but there's about 8 different like types of snowflakes. You know what I mean? Like, I just wonder if that's they're getting formed at different heights in the atmosphere, different frequencies at each different height that it might get formed. And, I mean, where do those designs come from? I mean, it's just amazing, amazing. I had somebody giving me a hard time on my channel, like, how does it feel to be a fucking uneducated, so stupid and believe everything? And it's like, nah, man, you know what? You don't even get it. You don't even get it. This interests me. I've already read all those books. I've read those books. I've read almost 2,000 books in my life, right? So I'm not really going to stand for somebody telling me that I'm stupid or that I'm uneducated and just don't have a clue, all right? Or that I'm white trash. Listen, I choose to be this way, Then the dude wanted to get into an argument with me about money. And I had to remind him that I'm a construction contractor who lives in Nantucket, Massachusetts. Don't assume just because of my looks, alright, that I'm some poor white trash scumbag, okay? Because you're sadly mistaken. I love my life. And I love all of you guys. I love people. People fascinate me. Even the bad ones, the atrocities.